It's a travel day. I'm back at the airport, and honestly, my luck with flights recently has not been good, and we'll get into that later in this video. But I'm currently in the Centurion Lounge, which if you have a Amex Platinum card, you get access to. And I already ate, and the food was so good. My first plate, I had this tater tot chorizo dish. The scrambled eggs weren't that good because there was artichoke and spinach in it, and usually I like spinach and artichoke, but it was weird with the scrambled eggs. And then I also had some pork, vegetables, cantaloupe, blueberries, and mango, and then a croissant, and then a glass of orange juice. And of course I went back for seconds, but I got a glass of water, this muffin that had cranberries in it, so I wasn't the biggest fan of that. People keep walking by and I get so embarrassed. And I got more of the mangoes because they were frozen. They just tasted so good. And then blueberries, and then they also had frozen peaches. So I ate that, and my luggage is still over there, but there's so many people over there, even though I have my own little pod, because no one is really over here. This lounge is bigger than the one in Arizona, so it's nice. I like how the seating is in this lounge as well, and hopefully you can't hear this background music or I will get copyrighted. You can check your flights, and then this is like a view that says American Express, and you have a little walkway of the airport. And if you keep walking down this just loops back into the lounge, and there's more seating on this side. Here's my little pod. So how I was saying, I haven't had luck with flights recently. We have been delayed, and this is the second delay. The first was only 15 minutes, and then now it's an additional 20. Not that big of a deal. Hopefully it doesn't keep going. Flight delayed, so I got it almost. So this whole top part where this glass is the whole lounge, and it is 100% worth it. Everyone's always like, oh, but you have to pay for a credit card. It's $500 a year, and if you use all the perks, it kind of makes up for it, and it's like you're not actually spending that $500. I hope that makes sense. I'm not even at my gate, but there's this little section where no one's at, so I just want to talk a little bit. Basically, another thing I found out in Colorado at the Denver airport, and I'm flying back to Arizona to the Phoenix airport. Denver airport is always crazy, but they're redoing it, so it's a hot mess at security. And I was getting in line, and the lady said, oh, 2-week free trial if you do Clear Blue. So I decided, you know what, let's just do that. And as I'm signing up, she found out I had the American Express Platinum card, and she said it's free. I thought they charged you for it, but she says they charge you, but then they reimburse you. And I was just like, I could have been doing that this whole time. So even that right there is totally worth it, because I pay $500 a year for the Amex card, and the Clear Blue is like $200 something. And then obviously once you get access into the lounge, drinks and food is free and unlimited, so it's really worth it. But I ended up signing up for Clear Blue, so I skipped security, but my bag got pulled because my toothbrush, I guess my toothbrush made it go off, and when he opened up my bag, the toothbrush was going off because I have an electric toothbrush. But I left the lounge a few minutes early because I knew I wanted to talk, and I couldn't really talk in there because there was music playing. Now I'm here. And the reason why I'm in Colorado, I was only here for a few days, is because I was with my sister and nieces, because her husband, my brother-in-law, went to a men's church group thing for the weekend, so I just went over there to be with my sister, and I got to hang out with obviously my nieces, and they're getting so much older, and it's just crazy how fast time goes by, and they're getting so big. So not only is this flight delayed, which I'm flying American, and on the way here I also flew American, and that ended up being delayed for 3 hours. And then when I went to Mexico for a month, my flight back to Arizona was delayed 8 hours. It was a long travel day, and luckily they had a lounge there, so if you had the Amex Platinum card you could get into it, but you had to sign up for this other thing, but it was completely free, so I had to do that when I was there. It was called Priority Pass. I feel like this video is turning into get the Amex Platinum card. Oh, and my Mexico flight was Delta. It wasn't American. I don't know what's going up with my flight luck recently, but it's not good. But this flight, the plane I'm getting on, is coming from Phoenix, and they're in the air right now. So I don't think it should get any more delayed. Just kidding. As I said that, it's only 5-minute difference now. So we're at a 40-minute delay. It must be backed up landing. Does look like a storm coming, so I don't know if that has to do with it or what. But yeah, my luck with flying has not been ideal. trying to get a thumbnail. I have about 20 minutes till boarding, but let's go make this little walk. You know what they say about the Denver airport? There are so many different conspiracy theories about the Denver airport. If you've ever gone down any of those rabbit holes, let me know. This camera can't zoom in good, but I'm at C34 and it boards in 15 minutes. So I came up to this additional seating area just because there's quite literally no seats down there. Just a sea of people, and even like underneath there, no seats. Usually I sleep on flights and I can fall asleep before the plane even takes off, and then I just know when snack time is. I just wake up and then I go back to bed. But when I flew to Colorado, I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean, so I think I'm gonna finish it on this flight since it wasn't a long enough flight to watch it all. I'm also really excited to get a Coca-Cola and the Biscoff cookies. Those are so good. I have like 5 more minutes till we start boarding. Hopefully, who even knows? The reason why my flight was delayed last time is because we all got onto the plane and we were getting ready to push back, and something was overheating and it was extremely hot on the plane, so it already seemed like something was wrong. And then when they came and announced saying something's overheating, this is unsafe, we all need to deboard, that's why the flight was delayed, because they needed to find a new plane. There's the plane. We were delayed another 10 minutes, but we're officially starting to board. It's been a few hours and I need to catch you up to speed because I came back to a haboob, and there has not been a haboob in Arizona, like a true haboob, since 2010. I want to say it was 2010. We'll get to that in a minute, and I'm going to show you video clips because it was actually insane. So after I filmed the last clip, it ended up being another like 15, 20-ish minutes. I don't know why there was such a long gap in between when they fully got off to when we needed to get on, but my seat was the last row. I did have the window, and unfortunately the USB port wasn't working, so couldn't charge my phone, and my phone was at 30% because I knew this type of plane that I was going to be on. I knew it was going to have a USB port. Didn't really care about charging my phone while I was waiting, so I couldn't watch Pirates of the Caribbean. What do I do best? Sleep. So I fell asleep. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep before we took off. Can't really remember. But what I do remember is waking up because I had a dream that I was falling and I hit the older gentleman next to me with my arm, and I was like, I am so sorry, and then we just both started laughing, and then I kind of dozed off again. But then it was snack time. They were still kind of in the middle of the plane and I was the last row. We ended up hitting turbulence, so they had to put everything away, but they finally made it to the back of the plane, and we only had 15 minutes. Oh, I was like, do I get my Coca-Cola and chug this thing? I did. So I got my Coca-Cola, the Biscoff cookies, which are amazing, and then I eventually got off the plane. My boyfriend ended up picking me up, and then we had dinner with my parents, and when we were driving to my parents, you see this huge dust wall form, which this is not just a dust storm, it's called a haboob, and I'm a born and raised Arizona native. This has not happened in a while. Some people, when they see a dust storm, are like, oh, it's a haboob. A true haboob is when you see the wall, and we decided to just keep driving towards it. It was extremely windy, extremely dusty. It started raining, and I was excited because it never rains, and in my head, I was like, it's gonna be like 5 minutes, maybe. Usually it just is a few little drops and then it's done. It was coming down, and when we got to my parents' house, one section of the yard was already starting to flood by the house, so my dad puts a pump and then lets it go into the grass area to try to get it away from the house. But within a short period of time, the whole backyard was flooded. As it was storming, we ate dinner. My mom made BLTs and also had this risotto pasta, which is really delicious. And yeah, I'm officially back, and hopefully the next flight I go on is not delayed. I don't know when I'm going on another flight. There will probably be at least one more before this year is over, I think. So if you're not already, you should subscribe so you can see what I am up to for the rest of the year.